Do you think Rachel Amber has powers? You guys know I love a good Life is Strange theory. And I know I've done this one before, but this one's more in depth. So get ready for the deep dive. Short answer is yes. Of course I think Rachel Amber has powers, but here's all my evidence as to why I think so. So first off, I think she had some kind of like elemental type powers, basically fire and wind. I'm not saying Rachel was the Avatar, but I'm not saying it. Starting off in episode 1, look at what William says to Chloe in her dream. Right as he's sitting there giving great advice to Chloe, Rachel's just catching fire. Like, why would they put that in there? Showing another dream with William.
What does fire blind with?
Beauty. But sometimes there's a greater beauty yet to come.
Incredible.
Fire is jealous, Chloe. It wants all the beauty for itself. That's why you need to be careful.
Careful of what?
Of getting burned.
Now in this clip, obviously he gave a lot of reference to the fire, and he's referencing Rachel. He says she's so drawn to the fire, she doesn't even realize the danger. AKA, Chloe is so drawn to Rachel that she doesn't even realize the dangers that could become of that. He goes on to say, sometimes there's a greater beauty yet to come. Now this could mean a lot of things, like fire represents rebirth, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Greater things to come, like Max re-entering Chloe's life. But then he ends it with, fire is jealous, and it wants all the beauty for itself. This perfectly explains Rachel, because we've seen that she's a little bit of a jealous person, and she likes to be the center of attention, or center stage, and she wants all of it for herself. And it's perfect symbolism of Rachel and the fire. Moving on to the scene where the forest fire starts. Okay, so obviously you guys all remember that scene, but there's something interesting about it. So obviously there's been fan theories going around that like, oh, Rachel is causing the wind to go, which obviously I'm on board with that theory. But did you ever notice how the wind is moving in the direction that she screams? I'm gonna slow it down for you guys. So you see how the wind like moves from the ground, like almost like she's projecting the scream. Wind, it can just... But every time Rachel screams, it's like going from her. I'm just saying, like, you know, she's doing like some Avatar The Last Airbender shit. And again, if it was just wind effects, wouldn't we see the wind blowing any other time? The wind only blows twice when she screams. Don't see any other wind effects outside of that, which just adds on to the theory that she did that. Adding on to the fire theory. Now, if you believe in zodiacs, we all know that Rachel is a Leo.
I'm a Leo. Meow.
And Leos are fire signs. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, well, she could be a Cancer because Rachel's birthday is on the cusp. Just some info about cusp signs. Cusps usually identify with one sign more heavily than the other. There ain't no way that Rachel's a water sign and that she's a Cancer. Leos like attention. They love being in the spotlight. Trust me on this. Moving on to the scene after the tempest. So if you've chose the romantic route with Rachel, and then you end up choosing the kiss with Rachel, which, how can you not? Look what happens during this scene.
Holy shit. Right? What is this stuff? I think it's a sign.
So if you noticed, ash starts falling from the sky at the exact moment when they're kissing, and then it just magically stops. It only happens when Rachel and Chloe are kissing. No ash throughout the rest of the game or even before that. Leads me to believe it's an expression. I say that because I think Rachel is controlling the fire. This is just one reason why I think she's controlling the fire. You get these fire alerts throughout the whole game, and this one says right here that the fire is 50% contained. And pretty much the rest of the game after the first episode, Arcadia Bay is just burning, and that fire would end up seeping into the town. Yet it doesn't. I think it's because somebody's controlling it. Now, I mean expression, like, she's feeling some type of deep emotions. Since the fire is connected to her, the ash starts falling because she is feeling this so intensely. As said by Rachel in the first episode, that her relationship with Chloe is new and intense.
Whatever's going on between us, it's intense and new and awesome, and you had the courage to tell me that you feel it too.
Think of almost like the idea that like you see fireworks when you kiss somebody that you just really like. Another reason I think that she is controlling the fire that's surrounding Arcadia Bay. Watch this scene from the hospital, and this is right after Rachel gets stabbed.
Hey, just heard the fire went out.
Went out? You mean it's controlled?
No, it's completely out. It extinguished itself.
How could that be?
Hell if I know.
So the firefighters are even surprised. They said it extinguished itself. Forest fires don't do that. Especially one that was just burning like crazy. So crazy that ash was falling from the sky and it was getting so close to the town. And then it just went out the very second that Rachel got stabbed. So I definitely think she was subconsciously controlling it. Adding on to dialogue that has been said throughout the game.
That shirt looks awesome too, I might add. You like anything that starts fire.
Again, just someone else hinting at the fact that Rachel is the fire. It's also a little bit of an Easter egg because Rachel ends up getting that dragon tattoo on her leg. And it's pretty much the same dragon that you can wear in an optional shirt. But also, I also wanted to touch on the song that plays when Rachel gets stabbed. Rachel was the perfect kid. She had the perfect life. She got straight A's. Saying she had a way with words, she could talk to pretty much anyone. She never knew she could be speechless when her father betrayed her trust. Now the world is white noise because she can't deal with the fact that her life is falling apart, aka the white noise that she heard during the dinner. Frequencies that she can't understand, aka her new powers and what's going on in her life. Skipping down, it says, I'll set fire to this whole place, this place being Arcadia Bay. Don't even care about our house. Because she wants to leave her old life and everything she knew behind. She wants to burn it down. Moving on from after Chloe and Rachel kiss. This scene happens a little later.
Have you continue to speak to her like this?
So throughout the whole dinner, Rachel gets progressively more angry, and the flames on the candle slowly start to rise. Now here's a better close-up for reference. As you can see at the beginning of the dinner, the flames are very tiny, and then as Rachel gets more enraged, the flames grow. Really would have liked to have seen what would happen if she didn't break that dinner table. This is also an interview that Game Informer did with the devs, and they pretty much asked if Rachel Amber had powers, and they didn't want to answer it because they want to leave it open to interpretation. Which I think that's part of the reason why the Life is Strange franchise is so great, is they leave so many things ambiguous. But with every single Life is Strange game, the powers get brought on when they see a traumatic event. It happens with every single Life is Strange character, and their lives are changed forever. And it would make sense that Rachel's traumatic event was seeing her dad cheat on her mom. Well, like, with her mom, but like her fake mom with her real mom. And her dad is the one person that made her truly feel safe. Having that all ripped away from her, her perfect life. Feeling like everything she ever knew was a lie. It makes her go through a traumatic experience. Now, I don't think that Rachel was aware of these powers, but subconsciously, she totally had them. Now, I've seen some people say, well, if she has fire abilities, why can't she just, like, shoot fire? Okay, she's not a firebender. But think of someone like Pyro from the X-Men series. Pyro needed an accelerant to use the fire. Could be the same thing for Rachel. And sure, maybe she's not connected to the fire, but she is connected to the wind. And wind feeds fire. They both go hand in hand. I don't think it's crazy that she could have both. Obviously, we will never know. And I do think that her powers are shown through her expressions. Whether she's sad and the wind is blowing, or she's angry and then the fire starts to grow, or she's really happy like at the Tempest play and then the fire is starting to grow more massive. When she's kissing Chloe and then ash starts falling from the sky. I definitely think that all of these things are connected through how Rachel feels and her emotions. But obviously, these are just my theories. I guess my question is, do you guys think Rachel Amber has powers? Let me know what you think in the comments. And stay tuned for more Life is Strange deep dives.